Yes.
Yes. Alright, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen, we are live. This is Hamz versus Infinity, Game 1. Starting off with. Look at this highlight. So, on the right side, we got Hamz. And on the bottom left side, we got Infinity. So, for high tide, we can see, oh, we're noting that Infinity starting off with some archery range right up the bat instead of the 3 on this after the second town center. Seems like Hamz is doing the same thing, a little bit too late. So going back to the high tide, it's nice to see that, for example, high tide always rely on those powerful archers, and not only that, but that dangerous sea of the towers and the freaking elephants. They still got the full armored elephant and the elephant archer. Let's see. We'll eventually see all of that into play. For now, the first horse archers are moving on from the side of Infinity, going into the Hamz building. We can see Hamz going into a very cramped spot, keeping himself in the land, but with plenty of ranges already on his base. Some stables already switching off, picking off that that enemy horse archer from Infinity. More archers coming from the middle. We can see the stables are coming forward position for Ham, so probably is starting to make armor elephants as well. Very nice combination of units. Those armor elephants are gonna soak up a lot of the damage from these units, from the horse archers, even with high tide doing that +1. We can even see some towers that are being placed in the defense of the unit of his base to get himself some more terrain to avoid this destruction of his buildings. And it's looking like a very favorable position. Ham's getting a lot of terrain, but Infinity not falling behind, still putting a lot of ranges forward. Stables coming forward as well on his side. And you can see some nice micro coming, focusing on the elephants though, which is not kind of ideal because you want the, after all, the elephants are here to soak the damage, so you kind of want to avoid that. And in the middle, we can see more towers coming in the forward for Hamz. Hamz getting a lot of terrain. It's looking like right now the map is in favor of Hamz big time. So the horse archers are retreating from the side of Infinity. You can see struggling to keep up with all those elephant archers on the top side. Hamz, we can see starting to make some siege archers, plenty of siege archers. And remember, these heavy catapults have extra hit points, so it's gonna be a tough time to get them all. Only with horse archers, especially with armor elephants in the front. So now you can see the armor elephants are kind of standing there. So armor elephants are coming from Infinity as well. Right now the situation is looking tough. Population looking 90 population for Hamz. Looking like Hamz, Infinity is holding his terrain quite nicely. I don't know if it's gonna how long will this last. We can see some siege forces on the bottom of his side, so he's definitely getting up to something. Let's see how long it will take to do that. We can also see he's starting to run out of gold. So Hamz not being able to produce as many gold units as he would like to be. With the combination of horse archers, catapults, and armor elephants, is a very gold expensive combination. So for now, it looks like he's keeping his line with the towers and getting some eco coming up. Starting to produce friendly villagers on the side of Hamz. He has switched on to full-on catapults by the looks of it. All the catapults are coming on the side of Infinity in the middle. This is looking like a very tough situation. The massive catapults is big. That's a very big, and with horse archers in the support on the back. So looking very tired on the side of Infinity. We can see Infinity is doing side chariots, which is also a useful unit, but I don't think it's as good at like right now. Not gonna be able to do much with all the side chariots. You're gonna need a lot of them, and there's already a ton of catapults in the face of Infinity. Infinity with 130 population, so keeping himself in the game, and that is. But these catapults are gonna clean up just so nicely. Very big massive age, it keeps growing from the side of Hamz. Very dominant position with all those heavy catapults. You can see some side turrets coming in, but not getting anything at all of value. I don't think he even got a kill. I mean, you can see the friendly fire kills more than what the side turrets are doing. The towers falling little by little. Infinity being forced to fall back to the bottom side. We can see some armor elephants are going to the fight, but that's very little numbers comparison to what Hamz is having right now. Look at all those catapults. It's just an absurd number of catapults in my opinion, and it just keeps pushing in. It's pushing in, getting all the archery ranges. And the armor elephant from Hamz just keep pushing forward. Also on the bottom side, Hamz Infinity trying to get himself some more time, trying to get some towers, a forest of towers on the top side, but it's a little too late. The main issue is coming from the middle to the bottom, and it looks like these heavy catapults. Like Infinity still has some horse archers, but they're not getting anything at all. Some more side chariots coming out to the middle, but I don't think they're gonna get much picks. Especially because the horse archers from Hamz are protecting those units, and these units are gonna get picked up by like more catapults coming now on the top side as well. There's a very big mass of catapults coming from the side of Infinity, from the Hamz I mean. More units coming, and the paint on the bottom side at 6, it's being cleared out by the same massive catapult that Infinity just can't get through right now. Buildings are going down little by little, and right now it's looking like it's not gonna be able to stop anything. So more side chariots coming though, but they are a little too small, and they just get picked off by some nice micro from Hamz. On the top side we see towers coming down. The more side chariots trying to kick off these catapults. I don't think they are enough, like they are just to spread out. You need a very big mass of side chariots to be able to deal with this insane amount of catapults. You can see the horse archers are trying to pick up the side chariots, and those are from friendly by nice catapult shots stuff coming from that single catapult. It was able to kill a lot of horse archers. That was a very nice kill. For now, it seems like there's nothing that can be done against this little fight from the catapults. We can see some side chariots are very close, but so you're gonna be able to get some nice kills, but they are not gonna be able to completely clear out this mess. Infinity losing plenty of terrain right now. Still got some on his side. Unfortunately, he still got population numbers. It's definitely not throwing the towel just yet. Let's see how long will he last though. You can see more side chariots are coming in, trying to pick up these catapults. Doing a nice job at it now. That is, looks like the number has reduced for now at least. While they're trying to get some eco, maybe Hamz is trying to go out of gold. Hamz is actually out of gold. He's producing more catapults, but he only has 100 gold in the pile with 15 people in the production bank. So you can see he's struggling to have to keep up with the gold income. But I don't think, considering that he's got most of the map, I don't think that's gonna be a problem soon. And considering that Infinity is also kind of stuck with the population in the map size, I think it's just a matter of time. Unfortunately, we can see more units coming to the bottom side at 6, so getting home armor elephants and catapults, so it's gonna be able to do a final push little by little, keep applying pressure to these units. More towers coming onto the base, so it's definitely gonna sustain his terrain for a long time. Horse archers coming from Infinity are backing little by little, getting more into the economy. Unfortunately, the horse and the armor elephants just walking in without any problem. We can see some more side turrets coming from this bottom side. I don't know if that's gonna be enough to heal with this siege. The catapults on the tower and top side as well, cleaning up the last of the towers that Infinity has as its defense. Side turrets coming to clean up these catapults right now. So it seems that Infinity bought himself a little bit more time, but there's another mess coming already at 6. He's definitely gonna need more numbers so before he can defend himself against all these units. And considering that there's already a mass of catapults in the top, it's gonna be, I would say, very tough to come back from. You can see some more building coming, and I think there's only a few buildings and a tower just as a line of defense, and after that it's pure economy from the side of Infinity. So right now, I think that's losing top side and barely holding their left. The bottom side looking like Infinity is not gonna be able to do much, and the horse archers are coming, and plenty of catapults coming in. The side turrets are coming as well, but they're not getting the value right now, especially because there's now horse archers from Hamz as well in supporting these catapults. So these catapults alone will not be defeated. Unfortunately, More towers coming from the side of Hamz. Hamz asserting his terrain, putting towers at bottom of the side. So definitely gonna keep himself in that position for a long of time. Plenty of time. Look at that forest. Very nice forest from the side of Hamz. Hamz coming up with some heavy catapults and the horse archers and the towers to assert his terrain. So pretty much I could say that 6 is for Hamz at the time. He's gonna have a hard time coming back from that, unfortunately. Let's see how will he be able to do something out. But I'd say like this is a GG situation. 225 population. Far more elephants coming for him, so definitely not having any more troubles when it comes to the economy. Pumping elephants to his hard content, and the catapults are just cleaning up the buildings from him, from Infinity. I mean, so unfortunately, Infinity very tough spot. Looks like this is gonna be a GG for his side. Catapults coming in. Sidechairs trying to get some skills, but doesn't do nearly enough. And there's already elephants on the top side as well, so very decisive situation right now. It's just a matter of time so that Infinity calls the 23. Unfortunately, the catapults cleaning up the rest of the farms, not being able to get food from anywhere, just getting food barely from the back of the forest, from a forest on the back that is already running out. I don't think Infinity has any economy right now. Timeline looking kind of not too even, not too different, but you can see it's very in favor of and Infinity is gonna call her giant now. GG, very nice first game from the side of Hamz. Alright, we are live with game 2. We saw Hamz got the first point. Let's see if Infinity is able to catch on this second game. Starting off with the deathmatch is live now, and today second game is Persian. Interesting position. We can see on the top left side we see Infinity, and on the bottom right side, a bit on the bottom, we can see Hamz. We can see a start of the common thing of the Persian. It's I have a mixed bag. We can see the cataphracts, the elephants, both elephants, armored and ranged elephants. They got some siege, and even they got legions. Right now, the preferred play is cataphracts, which is what you want to do when you want to start get some nice offensive going off, get some initial kills on the villagers from the enemy. For now, it seems both players are doing that, starting off with some stables, however. No units being produced. We see a little bit of cataphracts just now from Infinity coming first, and that's some cataphracts coming from Hamz as well. So definitely trying to get some early picks with those cataphracts. I think both players kind of delayed a little bit, but it seems should be good enough. We can see more coming from Infinity, not that big of a number, and we can see Hamz kind of keeping themselves on the line, so he probably knows that he's late, so trying to get himself a little bit more like a defensive position, and we can see cataphracts are defending from Hamz. From Infinity quite nicely right now. Some armor elephants are throwing in next from the side of Hamz. Hamz holding himself quite nicely on this position. You can see some towers being put on the hills. Nice position to defend him from above. The villagers are being picked off. This is too early in the game for the villagers to be picked up. Some more Persian and some temples being placed. Both players, Hamz placing them on the right side and Infinity placing on the left side. So pretty interesting. Both players trying to get some temples up, starting up to get some conversion from all these elephants. That's, after all, this is a very expensive unit and an easy to convert one. So nice idea to capitalize on those little priests to convert them. More elephants coming on the bottom side. The bottom side being with some cataphracts from Infinity right now. Infinity kind of getting a lot of terrain though. Like we can see Hamz is chasing around all the enemy units from Infinity, and Infinity just pushing forward with all the building that he's got. He's got plenty of stable, plenty of temples, plenty of towers. So right now, more villagers coming to the middle, definitely gaining some terrain for himself. Right now, the map is looking very favorable for Hamz right now, Infinity, and you can see he's already being put down center for the golds on the plate, so definitely starting off to get some economy going on this side. On the bottom side, we see Hamz getting some buildings coming up on the bottom side, getting some towers on that little hill, getting some terrain, but like unfortunately I don't see any units yet. I don't see priests either. Maybe they were picked up. but right now we see the queue for Hamz. The queue for Hamz is being produced with some priests and some cataphracts right now. Both players 120 populations against 120, so 70. I mean, it's kind of even population if you were to ask me. But no, it's not even. What am I saying? It's very favorable of Infinity right now. Infinity getting a lot of damage. Horse archers being thrown in the midst from Infinity, which is kind of important because it's doing a lot of damage to all these elephants. These elephants are good taking up damage, but they're too much damage being done. And armor elephant from Infinity are soaking up the damage, so they're not getting forward like we saw in the high-tech game. So right now, it's looking very favorable. Total 180 from what we saw on the previous game. Hamz on a tough spot right now, not being able to get as many units, and fortunately Persian is a heavy gold unit sip, so not gonna be able to push to do much once their gold is out. And you can see Infinity is not having a problem with that. Armor elephants and horse archers coming on the top side. Plenty, a very nice forest coming in the middle, spreading all around and keeping a nice defense. It's just gonna keep up killing the unit. I don't see priests from this side, from the right side at least, from Hamz. I saw him queuing, but I think they were on the left side. Plenty of buildings being destroyed, so he's probably trying to make himself some space for some farms. Team must be having some struggles on the economy. Only 1k of food right now, so definitely not having a good time with the economy. And we can see more and more units coming from this side. Just now getting some farms, but I don't know if that's gonna be like a good situation. He lost plenty of stables with that little destruction. Fortunately, Hamz has, Infinity has plenty of farms on his top side. He's not having any trouble with the space. He's got almost like 70% of the map for himself, and he's still pushing on the top side without any trouble. He's just had plenty of horse archers that are little by little chipping away the damage that is done to all the units. No more priests coming from this side, and plenty of units coming from the side of Infinity. Infinity on a very dominant position right now on the top side. Just getting plenty of towers. Some more priests coming to the help. However, it seems that they're going a little too forward. Their priest of Hamz are going to be intercepted. Plenty of units coming. Cataphracts coming from the side of Ambi. And armor elephants. You can see some siege coming as well. But they are getting a lot of friendly fire, unfortunately. Remember that these units do not have ballistics, so Persian siege is not that good when it comes to fighting the enemy. And you can see Hamz just resigns it. There was too much pressure coming from the bottom side and the top side. And that equalized the game. Hamz Infinity 1-on-1. Okay, we are going off game 3 right now. The deathmatch is live for now. Now we're playing as Phoenician. Awesome stuff. We get more elephants on these games of today. So on the top right side we got Infinity. On the top left side we got Hamz. So as we said, Phoenician, strong elephant civilization. So we're gonna see plenty of those. We'll probably see. Okay, so an academy starting off from the side of Infinity, left side. Pretty interesting to see. As I was saying, the elephants are much cheaper for the Phoenicians, so you can usually produce a lot more from their side. They got a lot, the complete line of armor elephants and the complete line of elephant archers with all their upgrades. They also got centurions, but they're missing some attack and armor upgrades, I believe. So they're not as strong when it comes to other centurions, but they're good enough when it comes to in a mirror match, I believe. We can see Infinity coming with some towers on the left side. Interesting. So reaching the middle, so he's probably expecting some academy units from the side, and the ballista towers are gonna intercept the unit. Very nice picks, denying that tower completely. And the first plate is the first centurion is gonna be denied as well. As you can see, the pressure has been applied. Very nice decision to start off with some towers, and you can see Infinity has switched off to the complete to academy units as well. More towers coming up from the side of Infinity. Infinity getting plenty of terrain. You can see the limitation of the terrain is already paying off. Not enough towers coming from the side. Centurions coming up in the middle for Hamz. Hamz, I'd say he's in a tight spot right now because it's been a while and we have barely seen any centurions coming from his side. And you can see right now they're just reaching the towers, but that's not ideal. You don't want to get the towers right now, and on the other hand, I see some Centurions, but you can see barely any units from the side of Infinity as well. I'm mostly focusing on the tower war right now. Some Centurions coming up more forward on the side of Hamz. Hamz coming, pushing up in the middle, cleaning up, trying to not let Infinity get this terrain for free at least. But you can see Infinity is getting plenty of terrain. So it's Centurions coming from his side, so definitely not gonna let him have it for free. Centurions are coming in the middle, some ranges coming on the back of Infinity, of Hamz on the left side, and from the side of Infinity it seems that it's really gonna be full on Centurions, so they're gonna switch off to anything else, just go full on Centurions starting off and get some kills. However, right now in the bite on the middle is looking pretty in favor of Hamz, though Infinity is pulling him to the tower, so that's a very nice play. Pulling them to the tower is gonna allow him to get more damage done to this Centurion, and you can see now the scale has switched in favor of Infinity. Infinity is starting to push up, and now again in the set, not nearly enough towers in the middle, in the side of Hamz to do the same trick that Infinity did right now, just getting the towers right now. Some Elephant Archers are coming as well to support, but the cramp space is not letting them get that much damage up. We can see some nice forests in the middle, so on the right side, on the left side, on the bottom side, plenty of tower forests. Unfortunately, most of them are on Infinity, in the top and the bottom side, so on the left side it's gonna be pretty hard to hit him, and the towers doing a pretty good job actually to get all these units down. You can see, oh, the Centurions are being pulled down one more time from the side of Centurions, and the economy from Infinity being pretty unstoppable. Right now, Hamz backing his unit once again, but plenty of towers are doing plenty of damage, and the numbers are kind of like, it looks even, but at the same time I think Infinity has more. Look at the terrain in here. You can see around 60% from Infinity, and there's nothing to take out these towers. There's no siege. Remember, the Phoenicians do not get that good siege only. They just get stone throwers with engineering and alchemy, and they can do the cleanup, of course, but at this situation it doesn't seem they're gonna be used at any moment. You can see Centurions are coming in. They're sneaking through the forest right now, which is very nice call. Oh, they're cleaning up the academy. Very nice. So they're definitely gonna try to go for some economy. Some units coming as well, not letting them get the attack for free. But that's a very strong mass of Centurions. And you can see more and more coming. Centurions from the Hamz coming on the back, trying to get some picks up, but they are already getting in, cleaning up these towers. It looks like they're gonna be able to get into the eco a little bit, not as much as I thought I would have, but still some damage. It's better than nothing, I guess, because it seems Infinity just has Centurions for days. It's the only unit he's doing, Centurions and towers. It's the combination that he's doing, and these Elephant Archers cannot do anything at all to fight this off, unfortunately. More Centurions coming from the same hole that Infinity just opened right now. And on the bottom side is kinda left alone. So all these actions happening in the middle on the top side. You can see Hamz placing up more Centurions on the side, but that's the mass from Infinity. It's just much bigger, so it's gonna be a hard time for him coming to try to kill this off. This is a very nice fight in this little cramped forest, and it's definitely putting in favor of Infinity. Infinity, these Elephant Archers not getting any value. It's just battle. There's no way they can reach that. They can reach this area, unfortunately. Okay, second shot coming off from the Centurions coming off of Infinity. Getting some nice work on the top side. Just more and more Centurions. Look at that. They're just trying to swarm in. And he really is going to do it, though. He really is going to do it by the looks of it. He's going to get in. There's a town center in the wall, but it's open now. So it's going to be able to get into the economy again without any trouble. And this time the mass is very big enough so that he can get the enemy off. You can see Elephant Archers and Centurions coming in the middle, but nothing to stop this massive Centurions to the top side. The towers trying to do their best, more towers trying to build up, but they're completely denied. Just too many Centurions, Phoenician Centurions that is, coming from the side of Infinity on the top side, getting into the economy of Hamz. Hamz forced to be run away, and you can see this is looking like he's losing his terrain on that side at least. He still got plenty of area on the bottom side though, so plenty, maybe not that big of a hit, that's one would think. It's gonna be time to see, but the time is looking very in favor. 227 population for Hamz, for Infinity. I mean, you can see Elephant Hunters are going into their death. Because they're tanky, but it's a very big mess, and they just get wiped out from their existence. Many people in tower are being put on Infinity, just going full on Centurion, no problem switching up to any other unit. Hamz trying to put some towers to hold his terrain a little bit more, but yeah, unfortunately Hamz had to call it. Very nice third game that is. Now on to the game number 4. Let's see how we will start off with the deathmatch. It's live, and now we got Shank. Another interesting option, very kind of the mixed bag option of, and again, when it comes to deathmatch, we got heavy catapults, heavy catapults, the ballistas, we got the full-on cataphracts, side chariots, and the horse archers. So good options to play around when it comes to the Iron Age. And we can see they're starting off. Infinity starting off with some stables. So it looks like he's gonna go for some heavy, some cataphracts on his side, and there we go. The Q's coming on with a few cataphracts coming on this side. Hamz doing the same exact thing. So cataphracts, very strong unit and a very strong starter. And really, the horse archers do not do that well against it, considering that they got the +3 armor. So right now we can see. Let's see how they perform against all the fights later on. We can also consider that the units they got is the siege workshop, the ballistas and the catapults do pretty well against it, but they're pretty expensive and very slow. And another thing is that they got towers, but the towers are not that good from the side of Shang. They just get the guard tower, not the ballista tower. So that the damage is just too different for them to be useful. However, they can still do forest of towers though. That alone can get us a lot more time. Both players coming to the middle. You can see little by little the buildings are growing to the way into the middle. Going plenty of stable from the side of Hamz. Hamz going full on cataphract. So looks like he's gonna be the play for the start. Cataphract's very strong unit, but it's very expensive as well. So if he doesn't get value, he's gonna have a hard time keeping up with the units. On the top side, we see some worship as well, but on the other hand, we see Infinity has already had plenty of siege worship in combination with his stables, so he's gonna be able to get some stables on his side, some siege in his side, and starting off killing off all these cataphracts that are gonna be try to swarm his base. You can see a very big fight coming on the bottom of middle. Plenty of cataphracts coming, and there's a Hero Forest coming on the side of Infinity, trying to get some towers up. On the other hand, we see the siege has been denied from the side of Hamz, so Hamz gonna have a tough time getting some buildings on the top side. He's already making some units on the bottom side, but look at all this. Infinity already has a big mass of ballista on his sides. Now this is ready to help out his unit. This unit does not have a level, what do you call this engineering upgrade, so they're not as strong of a siege weapon, but 40 damage, 35 damage is still 35 damage, so a lot of units to a lot of damage to do. That will definitely make a difference. We can see Hamz is trying now to go with some Lepolis. It's a Lepolis. I thought it was Ballista, but it's a Lepolis. I'm sorry about that. And they're all trying to shift towards the top of the side of the game. So right now, we can see a fight going on this engineering. So this little forest in the middle, kind of being left behind. You can see the siege warships from Hamz being denied big time by the Cartagers. And in the back, we can see plenty of support from the Lepolis of Infinity. So Infinity is doing a very nice job getting value from his units, these 8 towers. These Lepolis, the insane amount of Lepolis coming up, cleaning up everything. You can see Hamz has nowhere near enough siege going on this side. Towers are being put on the back of Infinity to support his unit. I think lot of trouble getting come back. Let's see 200, over 200 population from Infinity, just reaching it just now. And you can see he's also starting to add some side chariots. That's a good combination because you side chariots with trample damage can easily get these units, the siege units. So in case that Hamz trying to get some siege units, he's gonna have a hard time getting them back. But Hamz with nowhere near siege units on this side. Just look at the amount of Galapagos on this side. Now with side chariots in the supports, it's plenty of pressure coming off to the middle right now. It's looking like Hamz is running out of options. The population declining a little. The map is being conceded little by little. The top side is no more from Hamz. Hamz losing his terrain big time, man. This forest, I don't know what you call it, this army of Galapagos. He's just cleaning up the buildings little by little. And there's just a matter of time. Unfortunately, I don't think Hamz can come back from it. I don't see him spraying around. I don't even see units. I just see some catapults, but nothing to come off against Hamz. Hamz is a pump coming off side chariots, but side chariots will not perform well against the catapults that are already in the base, let alone the freaking Galapagos. So right now, looking like a tough situation from the side. And Hamz just called the GG on that one. Very nice next game from side players. Alright, yeah, match point. We are here. Hamz versus Infinity. Final game from the side of Infinity. Starting off with Palmyran. Awesome sauce. So, Palmyran has that mixed bag as well. You keep saying that mixed bag, but yeah, there's plenty of functions that you can do with the Palmyran. You can see they have the full armor elephant archers, and the siege is not that strong. I think they have heavy catapults and ballista, but they lack the engineering. They also have some horse archers and cataphracts or heavy cataphracts or heavy cavalry. But like they have plenty of options, but they're kind of incomplete options, most of them. It's gonna be definitely interesting to see. You can see from the side of Infinity starting off with 5 town centers, which is something that I find interesting because like you usually see 4 town centers from each player, but you can see Infinity is moving up to the center, very to the center, so you can see he's gonna get a lot of terrain from his side. And on the back on his right side, you can see building up some houses, starting off with some stables. I think it's getting plenty of terrain with towers in the middle, so very nice hill. Putting some towers in there to get himself some terrain from the side of Infinity. Infinity going on full-on stables. I wonder the preferred option is gonna be probably cataphracts or some armor elephants, considering that there are already towers from the side of Hamz. Hamz putting some forward and some heavy horse archers on the right side. So these horse archers not gonna be able to do much now that the towers are up, and with some armor elephants are already on the attack. You can see it's kind of in the same situation with the some horse archers and even some compis coming to the side, and they're moving into the forest. Oh no, they're gonna be free food for this tower of forest, and yeah, terrible situation. You hate to see that one misclick and these kind of horse archers got a lot of unnecessary damage to their bodies. Infinity going full on armor elephants. Hamz getting some armor elephants as well, but not nearly numbers that Infinity has. You can also see Infinity getting some catapults on his side, so definitely getting some units on his side to attack. Some siege is gonna help him out to clear out these towers, and these horse archers are coming on to trying to get some damage done to these, but they're not nearly enough. Unfortunately, not that many. The first catapults are coming on from the side of Infinity, and the shots are coming in towards all the horse archers, kind of getting some damage, but not finishing the job just yet. So better be careful with those horse archers. Very nice micro coming from Hamz coming to in the defense of those horse archers, but the armor elephants are too big, and more catapults coming from the side of Infinity. Infinity catapults putting a lot of pressure in the middle. Unfortunately, it's gonna be tough for him to come back. Because if you look at that shots, they're gonna be able to clear out these elephants with that number of catapults, it's gonna be hard for him to come back from. Unfortunately, look at all the kills. Their armor elephants from Hamz are being completely wiped out, and with that big number, this tower of forest is not gonna last long from the side of Hamz. I mean, having a tough time building some farms on the left side. He's based completely on the clear with plenty of empty ranges, not producing anything. Unfortunately, armor elephants coming in. You can see are trying to get some damage done, but they're kind of not getting anything just yet. Some side chariots and armor elephants coming from the bottom side as well. The horse are just heading on their way to try to get something up to the defense, but it seems that the situation is too tough from the side of Infinity. Infinity doing such a great job applying pressure from all sides. We have some towers on the top to keep the player in the line, and you can see horse archers fighting on the bottom side now. The catapults slow little by little cleaning up the towers on the forward and the top. In the meantime, on the bottom we can see some defense going from Hamz. So Hamz not being able to completely defend himself from all the sides, unfortunately. So that's gonna be a matter of time. Infinity just going on full on armor elephant, wing combination of the siege. And you can see little by little, all the units are running to the back. You can another delete coming from the side of Hamz. Hamz trying to get some farms on his town centers. A tough situation, not gonna be able to get anything right now. The catapults just hitting those elephants quite nicely. You can see the elephants are just melting away with all those shots coming. So that massive catapults too strong to be dealt with. Looks like the elephants are trying to back out, but 3 shots are coming from both sides. Very nice shots. Look at cleaning off the horse archer, cleaning off armor elephant, getting everything, getting building, getting units, getting the forest even. Unfortunately, this mass is unbeatable. You need siege or something, because you can see some villagers coming in trying to get something, but they were just killed off on the walkthroughs. Unfortunately, armor elephants are coming, the horse archers are coming, so this is the last stand by the looks of it. Hamz has to get these units, has to kill everything, but doesn't seem to be doing anything at all. Getting quite the kills, but not nearly enough the kills that he requires. Towers are supporting these catapults, and there are armor elephants in the back. So, looks like Hamz lost that battle. He did get quite the units in there, but that massive catapult is still too big and too strong. But from the side of Infinity, we can see he has switched off to side chariots. Perfect unit for siege and economy. So it's just a matter of raiding the economy from what is left of Infinity. Of Hamz, I mean. So Hamz, very low on options right now. I would say more armor elephants coming. Some Level is coming as well from the side of Infinity. So right now, oh yeah, and Hamz just calls it. Very GG from the both players. Hamz very strong, and Infinity very strong as well, being able to 4-0 his opponent. Very nice stuff.